Hello everyone, I'm King John the Sixth, and welcome back to part 2 of my multiplayer 1v1v1 commentary. We're going to move on from 1556 where we left off, but I do want to point out two things very quickly. The first, that I didn't mention when we left off last time, was my current production with respect to food. I'm having a serious famine that is about to strike next turn. So even though, according to the stats, I'm in second place in labor, this is going to fall precipitously next turn. I will have one additional livestock coming online next turn. I, however, am losing 2 meat per turn and 4 grain per turn. That's at least a deficit of 5. And I only have 1 in the bank. So that means I'm going to be losing some serious population, and I will not be able to build up for a while. So how am I going to deal with that? Well, frankly, I'm just going to build up as much fabric as I can, build the food as quickly as I can, and then I'll replace the workers at a later time. I made a mistake overbuilding my labor force here, so I'm going to have to make up for that. And that's it. So that's why I've built 4 builders, and they're all working on food. The other thing that's going on is the expansion and colonization of the New World. I did mention that Holland took this large area in the north. But the problem for me is that if he continues to expand, he's going to have a huge amount of territory. And potentially he could work his way down this coastline and then link up with me. So what I've decided to do, and the other problem I've got is that I don't have anywhere near the wealth creation that he does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this capital here, Detroit, to get me a little bit of cash, which can help me catch up in technology to Holland, hopefully. And then I'm actually going to take my ship, I'm going to travel north along the west coast, and I'm going to try and take Iroquois. So when we look at the next save, we're going to see if I was able to accomplish that. And we're also going to see how England and France and Holland continue to expand on their own. And we're going to go from there. So now we're in 1584, and boy, a lot has been happening. By 1584, well, first of all, Holland has continued to expand in the New World, although the other nations are starting to catch up a little bit. In particular, I've managed to carve out a good chunk of the Iroquois colony here and kind of form a line. But look at this. This is the big news. Portugal. Portugal has gone to war. They've gone to war with England and Holland at the same time. England is fighting a pitched battle in the south, while Portugal snipes a territory in the north. Now, the problem is Portugal's fighting a two-front war. This is not going to work out for them. England actually declared war on Portugal, which activated their alliance with Holland. And what basically the reason, as stated by the player, is this: tin. In this particular game, tin is incredibly rare. I was lucky enough to find a single tin location in my home territory. England did not. Holland did not. And this is really going to help me here. Now, by 1584, Holland has continued to expand in the New World. And take a look at what they've been finding. Look at this. Gems, silver, iron, more gems, more silver. Oh my goodness. 2 spots of silver over here. Another spot of gems over here. Unbelievable. I have managed to connect 1 spot of diamonds. Yep. That's my big accomplishment. But I did take Iroquois, which is a capital, and so I can import some of that. And then I also took Detroit, which is another capital down at the south here. So I can import some of that. So that's good. Now, on the English front, this has been really interesting. So initially, Arawak and Carib were British, and Kennewick and Timbuktu were conquered by Portugal. When England declared war, his forces managed to take Timbuktu, but Portugal attacked simultaneously into Arawak and won. So as a result, we have an interesting scenario where Portugal is... Oh, and I should say there was a major battle at Kennewick where England actually lost one of their pikemen. So it's interesting. We're going to see what happens as this moves forward. But basically, long story short, Holland is going to concentrate their forces in the north here, push back against Portugal, while England is going to fight as much as they can here. Me, I'm not going to get involved in this war. I actually had an alliance with Portugal, and I declined to intervene on their behalf. It seemed like a really bad idea, but I am maintaining my alliance with Spain. Meanwhile, Holland, France, and England are all at war with Portugal. This is not looking good for Portugal. As far as technology, I think it's worth pointing out, Holland is pretty far ahead here. If we look at the status, I've moved ahead in labor now. I've got a good advantage. But look at this. I know it doesn't look like much, but this little bit is a lot of technology. Every technology that I'm researching right now, Holland already has. That's kind of crazy. That's not great. And there's more. There's more. Look at this. Livestock gathering. I'm not even researching that. And then there's also copper and tin mining, which two players, England and Spain, has. I'm not even researching that. So I'm feeling a little bit behind, and it's starting to show in technology. But with that said, overall, I'm still number 2 on the board. Holland's still in the top slot, and England close behind in 3rd. So in 1584, the state of the world, there's our first major power war going on. Plenty of natives still around. And I haven't mentioned this, the Kwakiutl have been definitely improved by the French, I should say. They've been developed by the French. Timber and gems in particular. Look at this, 2 spots of gems right here. Oh, man. And so the French are bringing in some money. And then Mayapan, also French territory, fortified. Look at that, another gem. My goodness. And they've got some sugarcane as well. There's just a lot of good stuff in the New World. Very valuable. If England can clean up some of this war and Holland can fight back against the Portuguese incursion up here, then they should be in pretty good shape.